Hey, what's up, everybody? So I'm just gonna friend a whole bunch of my friends on here. So hang tight, maybe tee up somebody else. I'm gonna share something super special. So while you're waiting for me to get more people in, why don't you get a pen and paper and we'll chat a little bit here. See how many people we could get on this quick late night training that I'm going to do here. So while you guys are on here, get a notebook, get a pen, get a pad. You're going to want to write along with me a little bit, and we'll get everybody cranking. So let me find a couple more people, but I have so much that I want to share. It's going to take a little while to do it, and I figured I'd do it here so at least it's recorded for all of you. I friended somebody to come on and I don't even really like that person. I'm gonna knock them off my Facebook group. You know, that's the thing, you can friend people on, but then when you see somebody like, like it doesn't even fit the type of person I like to hang around with, like I would just knock them off your Facebook group. So I just seen somebody that did that too. So it's probably none of you that are on here, but I'm just gonna knock that person off my Facebook later. Okay, cool. Let's check it out. Let's see who's here. Jason, what's happening? Steven, what's going on? Dan, Ron, Jason Cummins, what's up? Robin, what's going on? David, Craig, Wanda, what's happening? Michelle, Jim, David D'Addario, what's up? Gabe, Wade, and okay, so many of you. Nice to see all of you. So this is what inspired my talk today. Today, I'm 49 years old. So, or what I like to say, level 49. I had a really, really awesome day. Thanks, Jennifer. And my son is 20 today. And so I thought what would be really cool, besides we got some really amazing stuff coming up, I'll share that right now because then I want to go into what I wanted to share with you tonight. So I'm super excited because one, I had a great day. I went to the office. I got to make sure a bunch of things, my dad's age. Okay, cool. I hope that's good for your dad. So I went to the office, got everything dialed in. We have our largest service business edge event ever. I think we're pushing 150 plus people, 160 people. And we got Lou Ferrigno coming. We have Jay Abraham coming, Mike McAllowitz coming, Brian Kurtz coming, we got Dan Cashel coming, Aaron Who's coming, and all the coaches. So it's the greatest 4-day business training pretty much on the planet. What's up, Gene? And so that's the first thing. Super excited about that. The other thing is, within one day, I had one client of ours that was like 1 million, and in less than 3 years, we took them to 8 million. And then another client today said, happy birthday, OP. He's been with me over 3 years, and he went from 4 million to 8 million. So we have this whole $8 million club going on at CEO Warrior. And at our Phoenix event that's end of June, we have a 4-day event just for our Warrior clients. We're giving out belts, and we have belts from 6 figures to 1 million. We're giving out $5 million belts, $8 million belts, I think a $10 million belt. That means they've added this much revenue since being a Warrior. So super excited. Plus, I'm running at a really high level. Got back from 10 days of executive protection training with my son. It was really kick-ass. We did a lot of hand-to-hand stuff. We did a lot of learning executive protection. But what I thought would be really cool for all of you is before I was sitting down and I was like, okay, so I'm level 49 years of age. I said, I'm just going to write down 49 things that I think you should pay attention to. And I promise once I get through like 4 or 5 of these, you're going to be like, holy shit, I should start writing this down. I'm going to go pretty quick. Otherwise, we could be here for a really long time. Some of them I might go a little deeper in, maybe some not. But you're definitely going to want to write them down and think about it because I thought, and this is not a full list, for 49 years, I probably would have to talk for 49 years. Any of you that know that you come to like one of our events where it starts at 8 in the morning and we go to 11 or 12 o'clock at night, there's no lack of information to share. So let's do for every year for 49 years. And maybe in the end, I'll throw one candle for good luck for all of you. So let's start this out. So number one, master your mind. You have to really understand how that vehicle works, how your mind functions, when it works at a high level and when it has paralysis, when you're functioning and getting stuff done, when you're dealing with anxiety, pressure, depression, or upsetness, or funk. I can't say everybody deals with that. I don't know if the Dalai Lama does, but I definitely have my dips and curves too. So number one, master your mind. And maybe somebody type in this list while we're going through it together. Number two, health is key. Without your health, without the power of your body being healthy, then, you know, everything else becomes immaterial. Health is the number one middle axle of your life. And what's up, everybody that joined? Lisa, nice to see you. Brian, what's happening, Brandon? The life is the core hub of the wheel. And you could have everything going for you. You could have business, you could have wealth, you could have freedom, you could have toys and houses and cars. But if your health is not dialed in, everything goes away. What do they say? Joe Polish just posted it the other day, a man of 1,000 things that loses his health only focuses on one thing, his health. So that's number two. Number three, master marketing. You got to learn marketing. Everybody, I think, is confused what marketing is. They think it's billboard, direct mail. Marketing is this ecosystem, and I don't care if you work for a company or if you own your own company or, you know, whatever it is, you should understand the functions of marketing. Marketing will help you definitely take your career and a life to another level because you're surrounded by it. Hi, my beautiful wife. You're surrounded by marketing. And so you have to learn it. And if you guys want a great way to start, just, you know, Dan Kennedy, I spent a lot of time with Dan Kennedy. That's a great place to start. He's got a ton of marketing books. Just start digging in. Number four, remember we're going to 49 here, Stephen. We're going to 49. Number four, study leadership. And don't just study, act on leadership. Study world-class leaders. How do they function? How do they deal under pressure? You know, what is a leader? How does a leader communicate? How does he focus? How does he motivate? How does he inspire people? So number four is study leadership and work really hard as a leader. When you do leadership, and I don't think you learn leadership, you do leadership, then you're leading your family, you're leading your community, you're leading your business. Number five, clarity is key. You must have clarity. What do you want in life? People say, I want more. More is not clarity. I want more money. Well, all right, I got $1 for you. I'll send you all $1. You got more. Are you happy now? No, I want more than $1. Okay, well, how much more? I want free time. How much free time? Like most people are trying, yes, I'm sharing my list, babe. Most people are trying to quest for something they're not clear on. It's like we're going to go out in the great blue ocean and we're going to go on a journey, but we don't know where the journey is going to take us. You're going to end up somewhere, but you may not know where. So number five is clarity is key. And for a bunch of you that have just joined, today is my 49th birthday. I call it level 49. And so I'm going through 49 things that I wrote down today. So number 6, and you should be writing this list down too, alignment. Alignment creates success. You have to be aligned with your wife. You got to be aligned with your children. You got to be aligned with your managers. You got to be aligned with your vendors. And, you know, clarity is one thing, but clarity without alignment is a completely different thing. You have to have alignment with people. When I hear in a service company, dispatch doesn't understand permitting, doesn't understand warehouse, doesn't understand customer service, it's because there's no alignment. Nobody connected the dots. I mean, think about in your career, you know, if you're doing really great with a manager, you probably have clarity and alignment. And if you're not, you don't. So you definitely want to have alignment. Number 7, hold yourself accountable first before you could hold anybody else accountable. I see a lot of business owners and people in life like, they should do this. You should do this. And I'm like, wait, you don't even hold yourself accountable. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people, like, they don't pay their own bills, but they're mad someone else is not paying them. Well, what the hell? I mean, you got to hold yourself accountable first, accountable to your behaviors, your actions, your focus, your disciplines. Like, I mean, these are core things, but I don't think anybody's ever given you a list. But like, when I look through these things that we've already, I should get some water, that we already went through, like mastering your mind, mastering your health, learn marketing, study leadership, clarity, and then alignment, and hold yourself accountable. Just think about just that fundamental 7. If you just did that 7, type in right now, like, what would change in your life, your wealth, your career, your freedom? I mean, everything would change. Number 8, invest in your skills. I hear every day another business owners who broke and can't invest in training. And I'm like, I wasn't able to invest in training too. I mean, I found a way to invest in training, because if you don't invest in skills, how will you ever change the game for yourself? And if something's hitting you or empowering you or sticking in your mind, just type it in there. But what's up, Gary? Like, how do you grow without investing in it? I love people that they put a badge of honor. They're like, I've read 1,000 books. And I'm like, yeah, and you're still broke. So maybe stop reading books, right? I mean, you know, the fact you read books and people, and then I go to different events and they're like, yeah, I own 5 companies. I'm like, all right, why are you here? Are all 5? Well, no, 4 of them are doing shitty. And I'm like, okay, so you got to invest in greater skills. Number 9, take massive action. People say they're taking action, but I don't see a lot of people taking action. They say they're doing more. They say they're working harder. They say they're doing things. But I mean, action gets results. Action gets results. Craig says, I invested way too much in other people, was afraid to put it into myself. Yeah, isn't that the truth, right? So massive action will always get greater results. That's 100%. People are waiting to take action. They're stuck in paralysis. They're stuck in perfection. Like, I'm going to go on a diet. Let me research 32 diets. Well, you know what? Just do one today. Just start off. Thank you, Justin. Like, just start off. And Justin, this is my list of 49 years of age and 49 wisdom things today. And so, like, just take massive action on anything. Number 10 I love, because it's how I lived at my service company, Gold Medal Service that I grew, and it's how I live at CEO Warrior today. Sense of urgency. Sense of urgency means your ass has to move like it's on fire. Like, you gotta get your ass moving forward, right? You have to move with a pulse, with endurance. Action with no sense of urgency means you're doing things, but maybe you're not doing it fast enough, with enough energy, with enough forward momentum. And then what happens is your actions and your sense of urgency creates others' sense of urgency. And I'm not talking about panic. I'm not talking about chaos. I'm talking about the willingness to say, I got to do it tonight. Like, I remember, and some of you might have heard this story before, is that, you know, my son, when I was putting him to bed when he was little, like, I did that whole thing where I laid in bed with him, he fell asleep, and then I'd sneak out of the room, and then he would lay in his bed, and I would sit on the floor, and this, my son turned 20 today, and now he's a grown, strong, powerful man, super proud of him. And I would sit on the floor with a little one of those pen flashlights clipped on. And I'd have yellow page ads all over. And I would study people's ads. And I would say, oh, that's good. And I would cut pieces out. And then I'd read marketing books. And then eventually I would sit in the doorway while he fell asleep. And I'd have the little flashlight. And he'd look and make sure I'm there. Then eventually I was in the hallway. Because I had a sense of urgency to get it done. But I also had a sense of urgency to serve my son when he was falling asleep, you know. And so that'll move you a long way. Number 11, meditation gives you time. It does not take time away. You know, so many people tell me, they say, you know, I don't have enough time for meditation. I'm like, you got it all wrong. The way someone told me was meditation pulls back the bow and arrow. It pulls back your mind. It clears a path. And then what happens is, now you can let go and you fly forward. You move so much faster. And so many people think meditation, I mean, if you just keep winding back the list, and those of you that joined me, welcome tonight. It's my 49th birthday today. I call it level 49. And I made a list before of 49 different insights that I wanted to share with you guys. But if you look back to the meditation, right? Like a clear mind. Can you take action on a clearer mind? Yeah. Or do you have clarity on a clearer mind? Can you be more accountable on a clearer mind? Yeah, you can do all these things I mentioned on a clearer mind. And so now we're on number 12. Learn to protect your damn self. Like, you know, so many people, you know, I'm such a believer in martial arts. I'm doing martial arts now. This is going to make 35 years I've been, martial arts has been my life. And if anybody made me nail one thing down, if one thing, they said, if there's only one thing that you did in your life that has changed the game for you, kept you strong, focused, disciplined, powerful, I would throw martial arts as the number one. It's always been the number one for me. I'm like, that's key. And so I tell everybody, like, I trained today with my son. We went to the trainer's house. He calls it the Wolf's Den. And we had a great training after just getting back from 10 days of training. And like, you got to learn to protect yourself. Learning to protect yourself is not about punching and elbows and back fist and kicking. It's about having that ability to move your body. And when you feel stronger, you feel more confident. All right. Number 13, question everything you were taught in damn school. Question it all. Question the history, question the math, question everything somebody told you in the past. Is it true? You know, does money not grow on trees? Does it take money to make money? Like, that's all fallacies. It's all bullshit. And so, like, until you can question the past of like, wait, somebody told me that. Is that true? Like, what if it's not true? That's what I ask myself all the time. What if what they taught me in history class, or what if they taught me about it takes money to make money? Like, what if that's not true at all? So I want you to question. That's number 13. Question everything you were taught in school. Number 14. Life has to be your very first passion. Everybody's on a quest for their passion. I want to find my passion. You know, find your passion. Anthony Robbins runs an event, Unleash Your Power Within, and it's all about passion. And so here's the passion that I believe you have to find. Before you find any other passion, your passion has to be life. That's what everything else falls into. And if you could just say that my passion is how I'm going to just live. It's how I'm going to breathe. It's how I'm going to wake up. It's how I'm going to go to bed. And I know this could be challenging sometimes. Please, on this list of 49 that I'm doing, those that join, this is a list of 49 items for my 49th birthday. And, you know, if I get it can be challenging, but if you make life your passion, like, what will every day be like with that? Number 15, there's no failures as long as you learn from them. There's no failures. The only failure is an unlearned lesson. That's it. That's a failure. A failure is only looked at as a failure if it's an unlearned lesson. If it's a learned lesson, then it was a lesson. It was an improvement. It was an enhancement. It's something that's going to move you forward. So there is no failures. That's number 15. Number 16, challenge your fears. So many people don't want to start a business, grow a business. I live in this world of fears with business owners all the time, because now that we work with well over 200 companies all over the United States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, people are constantly afraid. Well, what if I hire someone and I can't keep them busy? You know, what if I go to another company and falls out of work? What if I go to my wife and tell her, like, I want to do this? Like, everybody is so paralyzed by this fear. And what I'm going to share with you is, you know, fear, the way I was taught it, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. Everything you don't know is fearful. And I see people, you know, I got two realms, right? I have a world of people that enter my world. They're broke. They're running in a truck. They don't know how long. They're letting their family down. And then I got other people in my world that, you know, they come in and they go from $1 million to $5 million, or $1 million to $8 million, or 15 million or greater. And what's the difference? You have to break through fear. You have to stop being afraid of just taking that next step. Oh, I thought of the my pen has completely ran out, but I thought of my 50th one, the lucky candle. Okay, so stay with me on it. Number 17, uncomfortable is a gift. Uncomfortable is a gift. Being successful is uncomfortable. Everything is uncomfortable. And until you get uncomfortable, you cannot grow. You cannot grow while you're unless you get uncomfortable. Number 18, value each second of life. You don't get it back. That means make the second of life important, because there's no rewind time, right? So you better own your time. Like, I've committed this time to give you these 49 lessons here. Well, I got a number 50 that I'm going to give you. So I don't get that time back, which I know that, which just means it has to be impactful for you. It has to be empowering for you. It's got to move you. I want it to shift something while you think. I want you to shift something on how you live. Number 19, hang around great people. Hang around honest, great people, powerful people, people that will drive you to be better, people that will say, wow, you did such a great job. Wow, that's amazing that you did that. You want to hang around people that help your flame grow, not shrink your flame. Number 20, relationships matter. Own the relationship. Be key in the relationship. Honor the relationship. You know, make sure that it's not a one-way relationship, it's a both-way relationships, because, you know, in the end, you have to be okay with the outcome, right? You have to be okay with your outcome. Number 21, serve others without, what's up, Ted? Thank you. Serve others without expecting things in return. I don't expect anything in return from anybody on this video in this time. I'm just here to serve you with wisdom that I learned throughout the years, through a lot of pain, struggle, heartaches, lawsuits, embezzlements. I mean, everything and anything. I mean, I'm just sharing you where hopefully you pick up one thing and don't have to go through the pain I went through. You don't have to go through like a life of working 7 days a week. I mean, there was one time I was working 3 different jobs. Shit, I was banging in Christmas poles for like, what, $8 or $9 an hour, and working as an electrician just because I needed every dollar I can make. I mean, I had a mortgage that was like $1,300 a month, and I was 19 years old. Like, and I would not fail that mortgage. I would not let a payment be missed. No matter what it take, I outworked the problem, you know? We are on number 22. Gain confidence. Confidence is key, everybody. You have to want confidence and feel confident. All of you have the ability to feel a greater level of confidence. You're all smart. You all know something. But some people, their confidence is based off of other people's reflections. So you look at the TV and you see, an Olympian. So you're like, oh, I'm not a good fighter because he's an Olympian. So your confidence goes down. Don't let your confidence go down. He's in a place and you're in a place. Own yourself. Own your own confidence right now. Be confident that at your age, you could do more. At this health, you can do more. If you're having health issues, you can heal the problem and do more. Remember questioning what's true and what's true. Like, so many people are healing themselves every day, but we feel we need drugs in this. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Number 23, be committed to growing every day. I believe if you're not growing, you're dying, right? So every day, do something, listen to something, listen to a podcast, ask a question, hire a coach, because you must grow. The minute you stop growing, you will end up like, imagine if we stopped at a Commodore 64 computer, right? You remember these Commodore 64 computers or Atari? Like, what if we never grown and we stopped at Atari, right? You'd never have this iPhone. I would never be communicating this value to you. Number 24, expansion is key, okay? Growing is one thing. Expanding is expanding our wisdom, is expanding our knowledge. It's connecting new dots on how you believe. That's why a lot of people sometimes they make it to $5 million and they think they're the cat's meow. I'm like, you think you got the dots connected to 10? To get the 5's very different than going to 10 million. I know, I went to 32 million. To go from 10 million to 20 million, oh, it's a totally different dots. A lot of people, they stop connecting the dots because they walk around with their big ego on there. So look at me. I do 10 million. I'm like, congratulations, puppy. You know what I mean? Congratulations. Like, hey, be proud, but be humble, man. Be proud, but be humble. All right. Number 25, mastery is a journey, not a destination. Mastery is one of my favorite words because I understand in my instructor of many years, Chris Rossman, so grateful for what he taught me. He taught me that mastery was not a finish line, that it was a quest. It was a quest of another constant new beginning. So every day, mastery is doing the very best you can. Every day improving. See, people, I think they think this. They hit a point and then they start to die. They think, well, I hit my peak, so now I got to roll over. Like, wait a minute. The wisest sages and gurus never rolled over. They got wiser to the very end. So you want to make sure this journey is a journey of wisdom. Okay? Number 26. You have an energy field. I don't care that you could see it or not. It's scientifically proven. Everybody has an energy field, and everybody affects other people's energy, which means if you're negative and you're near negative people, their energy is sucking onto you, and you're becoming an anchor. Empower your energy every day. Feed your body, feed your mind to make the energy grow. Number 27, trust your inner gut. Is your gut always right? I don't know if your gut is. I just know when you hone your inner gut and your gut says, don't do this or do this. You know when you get that gut wrenching, you're like, I know this is going to hurt, but I must do it. You have to trust your gut the best you can for you. Number 28, share wisdom with the younger generation. We're doing a teen warrior event in August. We only do 2 events that's open to the, 3 events that are open to the public. We do our service business edge event. That's our 4-day event. That's next week. That's ending. That's our last 4-day event that we're doing. We have a new model we'll do later. And we do a teenage event, which is 2 days in August for teenagers. And we do a relationship event for 2 days in August, which is for empowering and helping relationships grow. And you got to share your wisdom with the younger generation. Have a story with them. Ask them questions. The greatest times I have is with my son and driving to our trip we got back from and just sharing with him stories of wisdom of what I did and what I did and I'm not proud of, and what I did and I'm very proud of, and things to think about. And then I don't say you should do or you should not do. I just, I impart wisdom, and then I hope that he translates this wisdom into his own life and makes his own great decisions. So, you know, when you're at a park and there's a kid there and he's on a skateboard, or, you know, just ask them questions and say, let me share a story with you. And if they'll listen, it could change their life. Number 29, be curious first and judgmental second. Curiosity, like I always say, like I was in a line at an event and there was a guy and he looked like a wolf. I mean, he had sharp nails, fangs on his teeth, hair was back. And I said to him, I said, tell me your story. Who are you? And he went through this whole story and I was like, this is magnificent. Now, did I agree? It didn't matter if I agree. I was curious. I was not judgmental. So I heard his story and I said, that's a fascinating story. And I said, thank you for sharing that with me. And then he said, are you dealing with a shoulder pain? And I was like, yes, I am. And he goes, well, I'm going to work on that for you. And I was like, thank you. And clearly he had a lot of gifts, this guy. But most people were like, look at this weirdo. You know what I mean? I get, because I'm a full tattooed guy. So I've been judged plenty, I'm sure, in my life. But be curious. Number 30, your identity can be changed. Your identity can be changed. I know that because my identity was an electrician who was stuck in a truck and drove for 10 years and killed himself. And until I made a conscious decision to change my identity, shift my identity in a whole new way, make a decision that I'm going to be different tomorrow, that I'm going to become better tomorrow, that I'm going to do different, I'm going to behave different, I'm going to act different. And I don't know anybody that grew a big company or more wealth or amazing freedom without shifting their identity. You know, anybody you know that stays the way they are, they never go to the level they dream of. I don't know anybody. Their identity has to change. Number 31, Cousin Jeff, Rich, what's happening? Everybody join me. I'm sharing 49 things for my 49th birthday, and I got one magic one I'm going to share for the extra candle to blow out. Number 31, mantras create power. Now, I don't need you to be a Zen monk and sniff incense to gain power, but mantra simplified is this, and if you have one, type it in here. It's a sequence of words that you say over and over and over and over until the belief system has no question but to make that happen. Like I say, warrior strong, warrior unstoppable. I probably said that a million times, if not more. Because every time I say warrior strong, warrior unstoppable, it makes me know. Like I still tell people, like with CEO warrior, like I'm not even warmed up yet. I haven't even gotten started yet. Now that probably scares the shit out of my team, but that's the reality of it. Number 32, manifestation is not a fancy word. It's a reality of what is happening all the time. You're always manifesting. It's just you're not always manifesting what you want. But you're always a creation machine with your mind. Your mind is always creating an outcome. You're either manifesting things you want or things you don't want. But you have to understand that this is not some foo-foo thing. You are creating your outcome in reality. And people, I know it's challenging. Well, I didn't create being broke, Mike. I didn't create fighting with my wife. And I said, well, I don't know. But maybe if you ponder on it, maybe you created some of it. And if you can question that, then maybe it could start to change the outcome for you. Number 33, materialistic things. My instructor taught me many, many years ago. He knew I was getting really successful, and he said, just remember one thing, Mike. You'll either own material things or they'll own you. And that's why you've seen that economic crash where people lost their houses and all this bad stuff that happened because they own these material. The internet's plagued with these people of, look at my car, look at my Bentley. Now look, it's great. If you love it and you want it, that's a nice thing. I'm always admired by the guy who drives it but doesn't showboat it, you know? And anybody can take out a mortgage on a big yacht or a boat or a house. Some of the greatest gurus that you know on the internet, like, they fucking lease a home. They don't own shit. You know, it's this big illusion of some kind. So make sure if you're going to own material things, some of the things that I care most about are, you know, some of the things that are cheap. You know, my sword wasn't really cheap, but it's one of the things I care most about. You know, if I had a sword and a place to sit, I'm fine. Number 34. 34 is make lifetime experiences. This is so key. I don't know where I heard it. It was a long time ago, and somebody said, you'll forget all the little things, but you'll never forget a lifetime experience. So my quest for many, many years, if we went to Australia or Hawaii, or my son and I just did that 10 days of training, or if I go to a yoga training with my daughter, I just say to myself, and the same thing with our 4-day events and all our events I run, I just say to myself, like, how can this be a lifetime transformational experience that you'll never forget it? Because going to a seminar or webinar, like, you'll forget that stuff. But when you go through a transformational experience, if it's with your family or your wife, you never forget that stuff. So make sure. Number 35. All right, those of you that joined us, we're getting close to 49. I'm 49 years old today, and I'm sharing 49 things. You might want to go back to listen. I think if you take this list and just ponder on it, it could do a lot of impact for you. So number 35 is gratitude. I don't think, you know, I get everybody, you know, this 4-hour work week stuff, and why would you care? You only care about working 4 hours when you hate what you do. If you love what you do, why would you ever only want to do it for 4 hours? I mean, think about that. People retire jobs they hate. No one retires a job they love. And so gratitude is one of these things. I'll give you a consideration, but it's not a mandatory. Fit it yourself. Everybody's like, follow my perfect morning routine. There's no such thing as, you know, in this perfect routine. Gratitude is one of those things that I go to bed almost every night, but I do wake up every morning with it. So I can't say every night because I'm not sure, but it's a pretty regular practice for me. Before I go to bed, I'm super thankful for the day. I'm thankful for the experiences. I'm thankful to have seen my children, my wife, and communicate, just so many serve people. And then, so I do that almost every night before I close my eyes. But in the morning, every single morning, the minute my eyes open, I just say this: I am so grateful I won't waste this day. I am so grateful my fucking eyes opened up. So grateful. And that I'm going to be able to kiss my wife's neck and hug my son and my daughter and, you know, and the dog, and just like, I'm just so grateful. And I could see how that just comes back 1,000-fold by being so grateful in the morning. Number 36, compassion. Compassion is something else my instructor, he taught me a lot of things because I was with my one instructor 19 years. And compassion is just something that, there's difference between sympathy and compassion. Compassion is just having a world caring for other people. And caring for them to understand that they don't choose pain. They don't choose suffering. They don't choose disease. They don't choose. And when you can be compassionate to them, then you can look at it in a different light. And compassion a lot of times can replace judgments, because I used to tell my customer service department, they used to bitch about people sometimes. They would say, oh, this customer's nasty and this one. And I said, wait, you know, I said, let me give you, and I've shared this a lot through my years of growing gold medal to 32 million. I used to say, you know, it's easy to judge someone nasty, but why don't you just think a minute? Like, do you know what they're going through in life? Did they find out they have cancer? Or did their husband has brain disease? Or their child died? Or the dog died? Like, you don't know other people's situations, right? So you have compassion, you don't have sympathy, but you just care for them. Number 37, no substitute for power, just pure power. Power starts in the mind. My son and I went through that 10 days of training. I think it was 6 days of it was 8 in the morning till 1 p.m. at night. Everybody else, my son and I were looking at them in the morning. They had these big X drinks, Red Bulls, 42 cups of coffee. And there's me and my son just cranking it out. No coffee, no caffeine, no drugs, no nothing. And that's just pure power. Power is just demanding it from yourself. Deep inside your core, you just pull it out and say, boom, I'm going to do that next week when we have 4 days of service business edge and we go massive hours, high speed. Like, it is going to be pure, brute power that we're going to bring out. We're just going to demand it of ourselves. Number 38, go left when everyone else is going right. Who came down? Hello? Abby? Caitlin? Anybody?
What?
Who's down here? Hey, could I get a drink of water, please? Would you mind? I'm on a live video. Okay. Thanks. Abby's going to get me water, everybody. So you could all thank Abby later. Okay, so number 38. I learned this a lot in business. Go left when everyone else is going right. If you follow the herd, you're going to get swallowed in the herd. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, everybody. If you follow the herd and what everybody else is doing in your market, you're going to get swallowed with the herd. Go left, different X factor. Think of different things, different positioning. I hear people all the time, well, that's how we used to do it 50 years ago. And I'm like, okay, great. Keep doing it like 50 years ago. But like, we didn't have Amazon 50 years ago. You didn't order something and a drone's going to drop it on your front porch. This is a different day and age. You got to ask yourself. I'm going to give you a question to ask yourself that will help you go left. This is the question I always ask myself, and this is why I'm going to give you a real secret now, everybody. So I hope you give me a big old boom for the secret, because this has changed the game for me. The first thing is, I always said this: if there was a way to do this better or different, what would that look like? Okay, that's a question I asked myself all the time. If there was a way to do this better or different, what would this look like? And then people said to me, they said, well, I don't understand. Like, how come nobody was ever able to copy your stuff and gain momentum on you in your market? And I always shared the secret. Well, I didn't always share the secret. Oh, thank you so much. Man, I was getting like raw throat. What is that?
Lemon.
Oh, thank you.
I thought you
Thanks. Abby brought me lemons too. So if there's a way to do this better or different, what would that look like? Now I'm going to give you part 2, why nobody, Mark, was ever able to chase me down and outgrow what we did in the market. Here's how they could never outgrow us, Wanda. The minute I finished building something and executed on it, membership plan, customer experience packets, university training programs, the marketing planners, the direct mail billboard. The minute I was done Justin building it and executed, I asked the question again. If there was a way to make this better or different, what it would look like. So the minute I execute, I was already building the next thing. So I just watched the shelf life of that, and the minute I seen it catch in the market real strong, I knew someone was going to duplicate it, because they always feel like, well, if I wrap my truck like that, I'll be big. And if I do that, it's like, it's total delusion, right? As soon as I saw that curve come over, boom, I launched the next thing. And nobody was ever able to catch up on that, because they never knew that strategy of all I kept asking. Training my people. If there was a way to do that better or different, how would I do that? Leadership of my management team. If there was a way to do that better or different, how would it look like? Now, for me, I've always surrounded myself, like I have 6 or 7 coaches right now, right? Jay Abraham's a coach. I'm in another coach. I'm in a whole bunch of coaching groups. Because what I would do is I would go to them and say, if there's a way I could do this better or different, what would it look like? And they would say, well, do this and do this and do that. I was like, thank you. I would take a strategy, boom, and execute it. So I learned I could speed the needle by one, asking the question, and two, asking it of really fucking smart people. Right? Hey, look at this marketing piece. Dean Jackson, if there was a way to do this marketing piece better or different, what would it look like? Right? That's why I surrounded myself with, you're probably not going to come across a great legend in the world that I haven't spent time with. I mean, Kevin O'Leary, I spent one-on-one time with him with 6 people. Dan Kennedy, multiple times, small group of people. Because I always want to know, if there was a way to do it better and different, what would it look like? And I would leverage their wisdom to help. Okay? I hope that was massive value for you. Number 39. Dream big, but go for it. People are dreamers, but they don't go for it. I'm going to have a big company. Well, do what it takes to have a big company. Be relentless. I mean, I'm leading here. I don't know what time it is. I can't even read. I don't know if that's the real time. It's 11:22. I don't know what time it is. Maybe it is late. I probably should go up soon. We're going to finish the list. But, like, I'm here because I know that, like, this year, I dream big. I'm going to change the whole industry, the way people think. And I've already done it. People now in the industry, they're talking about either mindset or warrior, or they're talking about marketing and leadership. I know that CEO Warriors took a strengthhold on shifting the way the industry thinks and acts and behaves, right? And that's our purpose. You know, yeah, sometimes I'm like, I can't believe they could have changed it a little bit before they swiped it, right? But I'm also honored that we're changing the whole way people think, do business, serve customers. All this bullshit trying to sell people, like, we teach them how they don't have to do that. So dream big and go for it. Number 40, your story is not your future. I was around somebody a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I broke my leg and this, and I broke my truck and my tool broke and I fired the guy, and it's like, okay, like, I get it. That's your story. But your story doesn't have to be your fucking future. You're telling the story over and over again. Actually, I just said this to someone at a training I was at, and I said to the person, I said, listen, are you open to me sharing? So I said, yeah. I said, is that story you've been telling everybody serving you? And she stopped a minute and she thought. And I said, tell yourself a different story. You know, we were doing this special driving. She said, well, I'm probably going to be really bad. And I said, but what if you're really good? Like, after the first time, I'm like, you got to tell yourself a different story. And then I said, okay, you're going to go. What are you telling yourself? I'm confident. I said, okay, good. Because I'm in a car with you, and I want you to be fucking confident before you drive in and out of this track. Number 41. Communication is a skill that can be learned and improved. Communication is a skill that can be learned and improved. And you got to master communication today. People want better jobs, more money, more connections, but they can't communicate. They're horrible. They don't know how to make eye contact. And I always say this, and it's going to be number 42 on help you communicate. Like, you have to hone the skill, which brings me to number 42. And I wrote it on the sheet. So those of you that don't like curse words, well, just mute it out or deal with it. Do fucking videos. Do fucking videos. And then do them again. And then do them again. Because if you could talk, what's up, Mike Disney? If you could talk through a video and communicate well and impact and make people feel good and give them wisdom, then you could talk in person easier. Do more videos. And if you're not doing videos, you have an X factor, a competitive strategy just sitting there for you that's cheap, affordable, and easy, and you're not leveraging it. But then people run around, I need more employees, do more videos. I need more customers, do more videos. Well, I want to be more profitable. Do more damn videos. Do more videos. I know I impacted a lot of world because I've taught a lot of people, like, look, just do this. Follow me. I mean, look, there's a star blanket here or something. Like, I'm not worried about the background. I don't have a big fancy tripod and mics hooked up to me. You don't need that. Just get in front of it. Okay, number 43. Don't bitch unless you're willing to fix it. All right, the world is filled with people bitching and complaining, and I'm like, they're upset with the president. All right, fucking what are you doing about it? They're upset about the gun laws. Okay, what are you doing about it? They're upset about, like, I'm so tired of hearing people bitch and do nothing. Like, at least if you're going to complain, take some massive action. Make a difference. Everybody was that. I'm not happy with this president. I'm not happy with that. Okay, what are you doing? You're just the victim of the circumstance? Like, freedom of speech means you can go out of your way. You can do what you can to impact the change you want. I don't have to agree on what you want to do. I don't have to. But unless you're going to do different and you're going to make a different impact, you probably should consider stopping, because all you're doing is fueling negativity instead of change for yourself. All right, we're getting there, everybody. That was number 43. Number 44, get off the caffeine and the gluten. I would say sugar, but I still fight with sugar myself. But sugar probably should fall in there. I'm going to tell you what, I've been off caffeine for probably 7-8 years now. Used to drink those Dunkin' Donuts, big old iced teas every morning, sometimes twice a day. Fill it with 2 or 3 packets of sugar, drink that, and boom, man, I'm off like a rocket. And then there was one day, there was no place to get it. And I felt like I was going to stab my brain. And that day I said, I'm off caffeine. I won't drink caffeine ever again. Thing was damn near making me think like suicidal thoughts. I was like, I am off this. Get off the caffeine, kick that shit, and get your body just running. I'm not a freak or anything, but I'm just telling you, try it on for a little while. And gluten, I don't know. I'm an Italian guy, so I like Italian bread just like anybody else, but I would tell you most of this gluten today is probably poison for you. Look, eat whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just sharing some insight that I feel has helped me become, a lot of freedom, a lot of wealth, grow a lot of company, and do a lot of great things, even at this late at night. And that's helped. Number 45. Gary, you should like this one. A lot of you should. Be stronger than your excuses, right? Be stronger than your excuses. Oh, I got to work. Oh, I can't get it. Oh, I need 8 hours sleep. But you know what? Outwork your excuses, and life is going to change forever. You're going to grow faster. You're going to make more money. Your company's going to grow. Your career's going to grow. Just be stronger than your excuses. And I know, look, some of this it's tough stuff. Hard work means there's rewards. So just work hard, Okay, next thing. Number 46. Get a great coach. Get a great coach. And I got to tell you something. I never found a great coach that I didn't pay. People tell me all the time, they say, yeah, I got friends of mine, group big companies, they coach me. And I'm like, okay, well, how much, how well? Because they're trying to make a living, you're not paying them. So I would say, I trained with so many people. I trained with Cameron Harold, a really brilliant guy. I've trained with Joe Polish. I paid Joe Polish, this is probably 12 years ago, 10 years ago. I paid him $20,000 for one day. It was worth every penny to spend the one day with him. Find a really, really good coach and learn from them. Listen and implement and change the game for yourself. Number 47, those of you that joined, you might want to go back and listen to him. 49 years old, giving you 49 things of wisdom. Number 47, own your time and manage it. Manage your time. Every one of you shouldn't go to bed until you blocked out your time schedule for tomorrow. What you're going to tackle, your do or die list, and what you're going to get done, and map that out. Time is the one thing you get deposited in your bank account, and every day everything's withdrawed. So you got to own your seconds. Own your seconds. Set healthy boundaries around it. When you're going to focus, when you're going to build, when you're going to make money, all of that. But definitely find a way to own it. Number 48. Positive and negative is a perception. It's a perception. Somebody told me that there's no difference between positive and negative, only the definition you choose to give it. So if you kind of think about that, it twists up your mind a little bit about thinking, well, is that really good or really bad? Is it really negative or really? So I would say positive and negative is really how it's going to affect you and your outcomes moving forward. All right, we made it to number 49, everybody. Number 49 is love life. You only have one. You only have one. So I know it sounds easy, but I don't know. I just look on Facebook and in the world, and I just don't know if people really, really just love life. And I get it because there's problems in it, and there's difficulties, and there's things that happen, and there's money and health and relationships and fights and arguments and all this stuff. But in the end, you have to just love life. You have one. And people, I think, not everybody, but a fair amount of people, I think, take it for granted. They take their health for granted, their life for granted. They take everything for granted. And I'm smart enough to know that the next second's not guaranteed. And if you could think that way, you'll embrace the next second. So there's 49 for my 49 years. And then I'm going to give you my very last one. And then I'm going to go up for bed tonight. So here's my last one, everybody. Someone wrote, and you guys can answer it. Fill out the rest. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? Type it in, everybody. Everybody that's left with me. I got 41 of you here. I'm honored you're here with me. I hope this was massive value for you tonight. At least created some maybe pondering thoughts or things that shift and change. But a journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? Now, they would say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And Blaine, I have a different thought about this. I always say this: a real, true, positive, successful journey of 1,000 miles starts, that's right, Rich, with planning your first step. Planning your first step. Because if you don't plan your first step, what if the first step is off a cliff? You might fall, right? You might fall to your death if the first step. But what would it be like if you just tomorrow planned every step? Strategic planning, right? Reverse engineering. And then you said, you know what? Tomorrow when I wake up, my first step is going to be this. My first step's going to be this. My second step's going to be this. My third step is going to be this. So I am completely honored to spend time with you tonight. For all of you, please maybe share this video with someone else, and maybe this will impact somebody. These 50 items that I shared. Next year will be my 50th. I have a big journey that I want to go on that I'm starting to plan already. I'm super excited for it. A lot of you are Warrior family. Thank you for being on here. A lot of you I'll be seeing next week. Bring your game on. But no matter what, I love all you guys. And just remember, love life. You only have one. Boom.